WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, ESPN 790 AM with Colin Coward and The Herd, weekday mornings from 9 a.m. till noon.
The views and opinions of the hosts or guests of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the management or staff of Intercom Memphis.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back. As I say, from last week to this week, this is Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 as Dennis Fuller leads us in. Greg Ratcliffe is our show producer. And, wow, busy time. I've got the busiest man in the world, and I don't mean because Greg's got twins and little twins and everything else, but he's pretty busy. But Ron, the Rendezvous Wong.
Good morning, everybody.
He is here. He's in person. You know,
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he is, but
Not sure.
No,
I'm trying to figure it out.
I mean, last weekend he was at Bass Fest, which we're going to talk about with Ron. Then he was at the rodeo, the fishing rodeo, which we're going to talk about. Then he
Yeah.
was back at Bass Fest, which we're going to talk about. Then this week he's been out cooking ribs and wearing his rendezvous outfit out there at the golf tournament, which has been a little warm, but that's always warm out there. And
Absolutely. And, you know, it's going on today. And
Yep.
if you're going out, let me remind you to hydrate. Please hydrate.
Yes.
It is really hot out there.
yeah, particularly where you were for a couple of days out there.
Yeah,
with
over that
cooking.
grill. When I was out there during the Pro-Ams,
Yes.
I was over those grills, and it got pretty warm.
Hole number 8, you've seen him on Facebook. He's there
Yep.
everywhere, but really appreciate what Ron did last weekend. We had a great time at the fishing rodeo. I'm going to let Ron kind of tell us a little bit about Bass Fest because people are wanting to know, and be truthful, Ron, was it the crowd they expected? How did it go?
Well, I got to tell you something. It was the crowd that they expected.
Okay.
And they were really treated to some really big stringers of fish. I think the first day, if I remember correctly,
Off the top of your
there
head.
were 29 bags of bass weighed in, 5 bass,
Yes.
over 20 pounds.
Whoa.
And
Yeah.
pretty amazing how these guys do it. Talking to a lot of the pros, they had caught their fish in the first 40 minutes of the tournament each morning. They're big weights, and I have to tell you, these guys are really good. Of course, a lot of it has to do with technology. I think each and every one of them talked about utilizing their graphs and depth finders and everything else, and how they find these pods of bass that are all together. And the key is to get them fired up, as they say. And to get a school of fish fired up, you have to catch one.
Yeah.
Once you catch one, it seems to fire them up, and away you go. And it's pretty amazing how they do it. There were a myriad of lures that were used last week there at Bass Fest. The crankbait was a big deal. I heard a lot of Strike King 6XDs, 8XDs, and 10XDs catching fish. I watched a lot of the pros throw 6, 7, and 8-inch swim baits
Whoa.
on a jig head.
Okay.
They just throw it out,
Yeah.
get it to the bottom, and slow roll it and let them eat it. Then they were using the Magnum spoons, an 8-inch spoon that weighs 3.5 ounces. They caught fish on that.
Wow.
During the day, when the schools of fish were kind of inactive, they would even drop shot them with a 7 and 8-inch worm. So
Wow. Well,
it
you
was
could
pretty
tell Ron
amazing.
was there because he's casting all these these baits at you and everything. And there was also some fun time up there too, Ron. I know the hotels and places like that were
I'll tell
probably
you,
pleased with.
It was really good. Our friend David Hamilton, who's the director of Henry County Tourism there,
Yeah.
put together a family event. They had rides for the kids, which were free. They had food vendors, arts and craft right next to the weigh-in area. And, of course, at Bass Fest, you had a lot of different lure manufacturers and fishing tackle manufacturers
Yeah.
that were there, showing that you normally don't have at an Elite Series tournament. For example, there was a vendor there named Dr. Dan's, and he's got some pretty interesting products. And we're going to talk to Dr. Dan down the road
Oh,
here.
yeah. We got to talk to anybody named Dr. Dan.
Well, they've got an anti-itch ointment, some sunscreen stuff that's all
Dr. Dan.
organic and everything else. And, when we get Bill Cooksey in there, we're certainly going to talk a little bit more about that. The Strike King was there selling their apparel,
Yeah.
showing their stuff off. Luz was out there. And Hook Fishing.
Yeah.
Hook
right.
Fishing apparel is a big deal. At some point down
We're going to
the
get them
road here,
too.
we're
Yeah.
going to talk to him. We
Yeah.
absolutely are.
Well, I know Ron picked us up some great radio guests. That he's always, when he's out on the prowl, so to speak. He's
Well,
gonna find
that's
us,
part of it.
That is part of it.
We're going to
Yeah.
talk to all these people that have things coming out, and of course, they're going to be showing all of their 2016 items
believe.
at ICAST next month.
That's right. Yeah.
There in Orlando, Florida, and I'm going to hopefully be providing some good coverage on LROutdoors.com.
Yeah, there you
from
go.
all of that stuff that's coming out for 2016.
Well, how about the winter up there? How about
Edwin Evers.
Yes.
I have to tell you something pretty amazing.
A long shot.
Well, he is a long shot.
But he's a great fisherman. He's
he hasn't had a very good year.
No. I mean,
Up until this tournament, I think he only made the cut twice.
Yeah.
Which is top 50, and so he was pretty far down there in points.
And then zoom.
The good thing about this Bass Fest tournament was that the elite, whoever won it, would automatically qualify for the 2016 Bassmaster Classic.
He's in.
And he's in.
Yeah.
Now, Edwin also caught the biggest bass 3 days straight.
That's
during
amazing.
that tournament.
That's
And,
amazing.
of course, he gets extra money for that.
He does that, yeah.
But what he'll tell you and what he told us was that all three of his big fish, he had 2 8s or a 712, a 8-pounder, and then an 812 in consecutive days to win the big bass portion of each day. He caught them in an area that was in about 5 feet diameter.
Oh, my goodness.
So these fish were moving in and out in this one little bitty area that he had, and he was fortunate to catch these big fish, and those were huge, huge fish. I got to tell you, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and we've got the story posted on LROutdoors.com. Ron did a wonderful job with the photographs we've got from up there.
And there's more coming, and we'll
more.
have videos out there.
Yeah, more coming, and then Ron zipped down in between. And speaking of catching fish, we got to congratulate Annalie Brashear of
my
Germantown,
goodness.
the little girl. She's 10 years old, and she caught 21 catfish to win the grand championship at the 15th annual TWRA Mid-South Junior Fishing Rodeo last Saturday that we all got out there after we left the show. And congratulations to Annalie. Her sister Iris, about 2 years ago, has won a couple of awards. She's 14 now, and then her daddy, they walked to the rodeo. I mean, they live right there next to the lake just about.
And what's amazing was she had so many catfish. They had a red wagon. They
Yeah,
put
they
all these
did. We got a
catfish in.
picture of that.
Yeah,
Ron
we sure
got a
did.
picture of Anley and her wagon full of catfish. And her dad told me, her dad Warren told me that she also lost 8 other catfish.
Yeah.
And Warren Brashear, we have determined now that he wants to help at next year's rodeo.
That's
He
awesome.
loves the event, and he wants to give us some financial support. Call me and let me know how much a great time. And she's going to Blue Bank Resort on Reelfoot Lake, her and her family, for 3 days and 2 nights.
Thanks to Mike Hayes.
Mike
there.
Hayes, our good friend up there, and she won that grand championship just blew everybody away. I know last year's champion, Montana Simons, did well, but not well enough. But golly, we had a lot of kids. And how about the little fella from Cordova? His name was, where is his name? Peter. Where's old Peter's name here? Peter Shy of Cordova.
Shy.
Yeah, he
A
won a
lifetime.
lifetime hunting and fishing license, which is worth about $810 from Jackie Welch and his daughter Daniel Welch. And I'm not sure Peter understood exactly what he won, but his mama was hopping up and down over there.
When he gets older, he'll understand.
Oh, he'll
a lot
understand.
more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you don't have to pay all those big bucks for a
No,
hunting
no,
and
no.
fishing license.
No.
You're set for life.
So it was a great time. Our other champions, Ben Baker and Luke Bailey and the boys 6 through 8, the girls 6 through 8, Madison Eads of Bartlett, who I go to church with. I was so surprised and so happy
that's
for
so
Madison.
good.
And Lauren Morba from Collierville, and the boys 9 and 10, Miles Garland of Collierville, Braden Lepka. Well, me and Bill Dance had fun with it. Me and Bill have a great time on the stage trying to pronounce the names.
I'll tell you, Bill,
he gives me
he's fantastic. Anything that's over 2 syllables, Bill gives them to Larry.
I'm glad
That's
you
so
said that.
funny.
I'm glad you said that. Because, one of these years we're going to video that. I think that would go viral because Bill looks. He's got these glasses on over. He's trying to look down these words, and all of a sudden he hands them to me.
He makes like he can't read your
Well,
writing.
it's not. It is sometimes. I had a little trouble with Anley for a while there. Annle is Anley. I called her Anle, so I had to figure that out and everything. But then Amelia Miller came back, and she has won before, and she got most points for the girls 9 and 12. And then, of course, Anley won that
I have
big
to tell you
fish.
something. The TWRA puts on a great event, and, of course, we won't be seeing one of our friends there next year, but he'll be back, Dave Rizzuto.
Yeah, he's retiring.
And, he's retiring, but and it was great to have Bobby Wilson there, Chief of Fisheries for the TWRA. He was out there. That was awesome times. Our friend Carl Graham, golly, it was a great time.
Yeah.
Make plans to attend next year.
Next year, first Saturday in June.
That's right.
And we'll have a new fisheries guy for us. And then, of course, Bill Cox was there. We appreciate our Commissioner Cox was there. Carl Graham with no mustache, like me. He shaved his mustache
It's
off.
summertime.
Well, it's gone. It's gone for good. And all the volunteers. Hey, man, we had some great help out there with the Legacy Outfitters guys. And our good friends from Stonebridge Golf Course brought the big cooker and cooked the meal for us. So a great time. And Ron, hats off to you, buddy, for I know you haven't had much time to put your feet on the ground. You've been on the move. He's got, frequent flyers. He's got frequent miles and feet because Ron has been everywhere. So let's take a break, come right back, and we're going to try to hook up with Ron Brannaman at over the White River. We tried last week, didn't get him. And then, of course, Marty Marbury's coming up. This is all on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find